hello, my podcast people, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of my favorite podcast. If you're tuning in, listening, watching on the day that this drops, it is Monday, June 30th. Happy last day of June. Also, I'm looking at the screen here. It's a little bit dark. I'm going to do some post-production editing. I love the summer, folks. I fucking love it. But it is so hard for recording. This is why I stay telling y'all, if you're going to start a podcast, no video. No video for the first 100 episodes. Why? Because it introduces a whole nother beast. And I got the lighting. I got a sheet hanging up. You can't see the sheet. But when the light comes from the back, it washes you out. Whole thing. But either way, we'll handle that in post-production. Either way, thank you for tuning in. If you're listening to this on the day that it drops, I and Lex will be en route. Rupert's behind me. To Stade. Stade, Switzerland for a sand volleyball. I want to call it beach volleyball. That's what it is, but it's not at the beach. For a sand volleyball tournament. We are watching, not playing, and I am big stoked. We will be on a plane then. It's a week from the day that I'm actually recording this. Tune into Instagram. I'm going to do my best to upload stories and stuff and keep y'all posted via that. But mainly just going to be there and enjoying it. Otherwise, just catch the update in 2 weeks. Because I am batching these episodes, but I will record the recap episode right when I get back. Hopefully the jet lag doesn't kill me. And then it'll go out on, looking at the calendar, July 14th. So tune in to stories or just wait. But, super grateful to be able to travel in general. Although as of today, there was a travel warning issue, but it's largely for the Middle East. But just grateful to be able to travel in general, especially right now with all of the fucking bullshit that's going on with Trump administration and all the bullshit they're carrying out every single day. So fuck that guy, fuck that whole administration. And, I saw a meme that said something about the apocalypse movies got it right, but none of them told me I'd have to still be going to work. And it's yeah, there's this very weird dissonance that continues to go on. Because everything is going to shit, everything is shit, but also buy my shit, right? It's this weird So I am making this episode because of a conversation that I had, and the conversation reminded me of what I do in this world, what I bring to this world, what I believe I bring to this world. One of the gifts that I have to offer people, which is largely that I help people use their voice. Right? I help people get started. I help them believe in themselves, which is something that I can actually wrap my head around doing, even as things go to shit, because it's just something that's still needed, in my opinion. So that right there is the only life update that I have, the only biz update that I have. So we're going to hop right into the episode today, and we are speaking to the rhetorical question of, are ads killing your confidence? So right off the bat, no shade to you if you are running ads, right? If you be running ads, go ahead. Live your life. Great. Amazing. That is not what this episode is about. Do you, boo, always. This episode, like I said, was inspired by a conversation that I had with a former client turned friend, where she basically said that the ads she was being served on Instagram, combined with the slow trickle that she was having of clients coming in, new clients coming in, had her questioning basically all of her marketing, all of her messaging, her whole business, right? The ads were killing the confidence, having her questioning everything. What I chose to immediately point out was the fact that the person was using ads to reach her and make her question things, meaning that organic reach is fucking tough, even with great messaging, right? Even with quote unquote great, quote unquote, the best messaging, the person's still using ads, right? Again, I'm not here to shit on ads. I'm here to open people's eyes as to the reality of things. So the fact that this person's using ads and speak to the fact that organic reach is tough means that her messaging could be totally fine, right? But more than that, whatever that person is selling and trying to sell you, if you're getting served the same ads, might not translate, into some magical bullet that's going to fix everything and explode your business. And when I say it might not, it will not. Whatever they're selling, it's not going to, unless they're selling you how to fucking run ads. That's, valid, but it's still not guaranteed to work. It's not a magical bullet. Right? The first thing to consider when we're looking at, is my stuff okay? right? If we're trying to say, is what these ads they're telling me, is it true? Is my shit fucked up? Right? The first thing I want all of you to consider is, what are you selling? Is there a market for it? Maybe not. Do people actually want it? Maybe not. Notice I didn't say should people want it. I said, do people want it? Different things. How many people actually want it? Which ties into that first question of, is there a market for it? Right? So a little different than the first question, because there could be a market for it, but it's a very small market for it. That's okay. But we just have to be honest with ourselves about that. Right? Additionally, and I've said this a zillion times, if your offer requires hard work, consistency, time, personal responsibility, acceptance, personal acceptance, it is going to be much harder to sell. People love a quick fix. People fucking love outsourcing. People love change without having to change anything. And so they're not actually changing themselves, but they're like, hey, I want a different thing without having to change anything on my own. People fucking love, they'll pay $1 zillion for that. Right? We know that if your offer helps people make money, it will be easier to sell. Right? Note the person that is running these ads, they're running ads to a business owner, right? I'm talking about these ads that are like, hey, let me help you with your business. Let me help you with your messaging, whatever. They are going B2B, business to business. Their offer helps you make money, and thus it is much easier for them than it is for you if you are going B2C, D2C, direct to consumer, business to consumer. Yes, I am saying this and fully knowing, fully aware, it is absolutely easier for me. I'm going business to business right now. I've pretty much always gone business to business. I did do direct to consumer and actually treating people, many, many moons ago. But once I started teaching and I was doing a ton on social media, that was business to business. I wasn't teaching them about how to run a business, but I was teaching learners about pain versus teaching people how to get themselves out of pain. Those are very different. And the latter, the second one, teaching people how to get themselves out of pain or helping people get themselves out of pain, that's really fucking tough. Really, really, really fucking tough. Unless you're telling them, here's a magic pill. But if you're like, you have to do something, you have to change something, you have to become someone else, nope. That's a fucking tough sell. Right? One thing that Jill and I always talk about is that, yes, you can always work on your messaging. You could always work on it. It is a skill, which is a good thing, a good way to view it, because it means it's learnable. Right? But it's also something that evolves over time as you change, as you learn more about your audience, as your offer shifts, because you learn what you want to be offering and not offering, right? As you exhaust those early adopters and maybe have to go to more cold traffic and maybe use ads, the messaging will shift, right? But to me, across the board, the best messaging is messaging that is clear about who it's for, specific about the process, dialed in with the pain points, and very resolute in the promise. You should understand as I'm saying this that that takes time to get to that. It takes proficiency, expertise, skill, you gotta be good at your shit, and then it takes time. Guaranteeing that someone's gonna get more clients, I think that it's always a lie. Right? I can't think of a single use case where someone's like, I promise you, you're gonna get this. And I'm like, but you can't. You cannot. You could get them in front of more people, but you can't guarantee a purchase, right? Even with legacy, we promise people their biggest launch, but we don't promise a specific dollar amount because it's based on the size of that person's audience, right? Client acquisition, we know that is the hardest thing to do. And so I think there are people that do it very well-intentioned and well-meaning, but I think that a lot of people are also bullshitting. I think a lot of people are also just twisting the knife on pain points just to try and sell a product that actually isn't going to make a difference in what this person needs. Online business it is largely a very big pyramid scheme with major players up top, and then it kind of trickles down, right? I am fortunate to be closer up to the top of this thing, but not everyone who plays the game gets to win. And it's not always just a messaging issue. Right? There's so many factors that come into play when we're talking about online business success. This is not me saying don't start, don't try. This is me just giving it to you fucking straight. Right? There are certain things about messaging that should be there as a prerequisite. But those things do not guarantee that you're going to explode and that you're going to make $1 zillion, is what I'm trying to say. Right? If you do think that you need help with your messaging, by all means, go get help with it. Just keep in mind that one little tweak is not going to blow up your shit. It's not going to be and now I have 1 million clients. That's not how it works. It's not real. Right? Refining your message is a process of iterating that realistically, that came out weird, that realistically takes years. I'm thinking of a phenomenal client that Jill and I both work with inside of Legacy. She listens to this podcast. You know who you are. You're fucking awesome. And she just had a really successful, timely lead magnet promotion. And she has just kept at it since day one. We've been working with her for 2 years. I don't even know at this point. It's just like, feels like she's just the best. But she just sticks with it and understands this is a process and is learning and iterating and refining and listening to her people. Like, that's the process. Anyone that you believe has had fast results, like they did a single change and then like all this shit happened, it means that they were at this for a really long time before and they have a really big audience. They probably have really big trust. And they changed something and it was like, okay, this like really helped out. But like, it's not this like, I didn't really have any sales or I really had a small audience and I changed one thing and then my audience grew massively and I got 1 million sales. Like, it doesn't work like that. Ever. Okay? It never fucking works like that. So, some action items for you, because this isn't just about, me ranting, as much fun as it is for me. Some action items for you. First, ask yourself if the ads that you're seeing are offering actual solutions or just naming a feeling. Because some of these people are really good at twisting the knife on a pain point. They're really good at saying the things that you're feeling. Doesn't mean that they can solve the problem. Doesn't mean that your problem is solvable with a single item either, single action. All right, so ask yourself if the ads that you're seeing, are they offering actual solutions or are they just naming a feeling? From there, what are the solutions that they're naming? They should be transparent with, here's the things. I don't have to give you like every single step, but like, what is it? What's the approach? Then ask yourself, have you tried them on your own? Have you tried doing these things? And then fucking ask yourself, have you asked ChatGPT? Have you? ChatGPT is phenomenal. And I say this because let me back it up. ChatGPT is phenomenal, but ChatGPT is phenomenal at knowing what's already out there. And that's what is being marketed to you. It's nothing new. Right? ChatGPT is trained on what already exists, right? It is a computer. It is math. It is a probabilistic model, meaning it takes data in and says, what's the most logical, most probable next word is actually how it works. But we'll make it a little bit easier to understand. It says, what of these options for a possible outcome? What's the most probable? And then it gives you that, which is why if you put the same thing in twice, you get a different answer because it goes to the next one, the next one, the next one, right? And if you change things a little bit, the same thing happens. But it's trained on what's already out there. The bullshit that's already out there, all the marketing techniques, it's trained on all of that. It's seen it, right? It's fed these massive amounts of data. OpenAI actually didn't reveal what their most recent model is trained on, and suffice to say, probably illegally trained on a bunch of shit from all over, which means that it's already seen it. It's already seen Marie Forleo's stuff. It's already seen whoever's stuff, right? Ask it that. Like, I am not anti-coaching. I am a coach. But I am anti-coaches twisting the knife and making people feel bad and having empty promises and just being really good at talking and not actually good at delivering a fucking solution. So let's get ahead of that and let's try ChatGPT first. It doesn't work, then you need, and you're like, hey, but I need accountability. Okay, cool. Then fucking go and pay for it by all means. These people that are offering their services, go and binge their content and really focus on their values while you're doing that. And I'm saying this as someone that this is why I put out this episode 671. Binge all my stuff. If people can get solutions without ever working with me, I'm not mad about that. Because I know there's also people that want me to actually hold their hand through things and explain things to them. And some of the stuff that we do on a call, I was thinking of a call I had last week, like I cannot do it through a podcast. I cannot listen to someone's personal story and be with them for an hour and listen to their whole personal story and be like, hey, actually, based on the whole things you said, this is what I think that you are really good at. And this is what I think the niche should be. And this is the direction. I can't do that just like a one-sided conversation here, right? But I put all this content out at various price points so that it is more affordable, across the board. So you can go and binge it without ever having to like pay me directly. And there's a bunch of free stuff as well. And I try to really show with my values. So, like this is what I stand for. This is what I believe in. This is what what I mean when I'm saying things. All right. So go learn from these people. Go binge their free shit. Go as far as you can with that. Go look at testimonials. Do the testimonials apply to you, or is it the same fucking three things? There's a fucking ad I get served a bunch, and it's about like not using social media to grow on social media, something like that. So it's like, yeah, they used ads because I'm getting an ad. I'm sure that's what you help people do. Like they're like, we have the formula and what posts to make. That I'm like, then why am I not fucking seeing your posts? Why are you serving me a fucking ad? Like, doesn't make sense. But either way, if I go look at the testimonials, they're all about TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you got people on TikTok probably from 5 years ago when everyone was going viral. What are you doing right now on Instagram, right? Go look at the testimonials. Do they apply to you? If you have a very big investment you're going to make, ideally you're talking to that person and ask them if you can, be put in contact with people that were in the program, if that's something you like doing. Lex and I would do that, and we do that. And Jill and I do that as well. Like, you want to talk to somebody? We have asked our people already, and they're like, yeah, sure. Nothing to hide. Next action item, go audit your own messaging. Are you clear about who you help? Is this narrow and niched, or is it super broad? Right? Are you specific about the process you take people through? Do you have a process that you take people through? Can you get results? Are you dialed in with the pain points, like the things that people are going through? And you're not twisting the knife on it, but do you understand what people care about? Are you in tune with your audience? Are you resolute, aka confident in the promise? Can you guarantee an outcome? Maybe not yet because you just started. But that's something you should be working your way towards. How long have you been showing up with this exact messaging? This shit takes time. I tell people 18 months minimum before you start getting traction. Before you decide, hey, I got to go in a different direction. 18 months minimum consistent, concerted effort, because no one fucking sees anything. Especially now, people are not paying attention to anything. They're not seeing anything. Like, you got to keep showing up. Go and audit your own stuff. Audit your own messaging. And then audit your offer, right? Which includes all the stuff I just said. But asking yourself, is there a market for this, for the thing I'm selling? How big is that market? And am I expecting, hard work and slow results messaging to perform the same way that low effort, instant or instantaneous results marketing does, right? That's a little bit of a confusing sentence, but am I expecting my shit that takes effort from people, that asks them to show up every day, that asks them to be consistent, that asks them to do hard things, that tells them it's going to be hard work, that tells them it's going to take a long time? Am I expecting that messaging to do as well as Joe Schmo over there that's saying, hey, just pay me and then everything will be fixed? It's two completely different things. I do not expect your thing to perform like that person's. I'm not saying go change your messaging to be like that person, but just manage your expectations. I will say, if you show up, this is how I message. If you show up and you're like, yeah, it's just going to take a long time. I just said 18 months. I literally just said it, a minute ago. When you show up like that and you say that and you keep saying that, the people who do come to you, they are the fucking best. They get it. They're willing to work. They're willing to show up. They've managed their expectations. They're not expecting you to play Jesus. That person I said earlier that I'm just like, yo, she's the fucking best. Like, be transparent in what you say, and you will attract the people you want to work with. There may be fewer of them than if you have some, unbelievable marketing. And I say unbelievable, not in a good way. Like, yeah, it's not believable because if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So the last action item here is that if you've seen an ad, you keep seeing it, and you just can't get it out of your head, then fucking scratch the itch and move on. Right? Again, this isn't some anti-ad episode. I want you all to move forward. I actually love getting served ads, mainly for shit that I want, like shorts and things like that, right? But I did this episode because I want to manage expectations, and I don't want any of you out there thinking that whatever you're buying is going to magically fix your business problems. And two, I want to make sure that these ads aren't killing your confidence and having you questioning everything, right? Also, I don't have this in the outline, but it's just come to me. Like, if an ad makes you question everything and feel like that, you probably shouldn't work with that person. Like, there's a little bit of a red flag to me. Like, I don't want you to feel like, oh my God, everything is wrong. Like, I want you to feel like, okay, I have some holes here and this person can help me. And I'd love to work with them, and our values align. And here's why I think they can help me. And here's exactly what I think they can help me with. And I've tried doing this on my own and didn't really get what I wanted. And so here's why I think that, I should give them money. All right. That's all I got for you. A little bit ranty, but actually feeling good about this episode. As always, endlessly appreciative for every single one of you. Make sure you tune into the Start episodes, and I will catch you on the next episode. Until next time, friends. Maestro.